Kia ora!
Kia ora.
And welcome back! On this video we're going to talk to you about our explorations and discoveries in Atiu, another one of the islands of the Cook Islands. We're coming to you from Rarotonga. Atiu is a little island not very far from the main island from where we are right now. Very short flight, 187 kilometers away from Rarotonga. Took us a few minutes to get there with the Raro Air and a little plane as usual. As with all the other islands, a very basic short runway, coral runway.
So it is like always the experience with these smaller islands out there of the Cooks. The plane is not overcrowded, the airport is only open arrival and departure of the planes, which are scheduled 3 times a week. And yeah, short flight, 45 minutes only.
So Atiu is not a very big island, 27 square kilometers. It's a volcanic island. It's very similar to the other islands in the southern group. Very corally, spiky, dark, hard.
It has this kind of volcanic plateau made out of fossilized corals, so the so-called Makatea, where the villages are located. So it's really in the center of Atiu, and everything around is only about nature, unspoiled nature, rainforest, and the volcanic areas, amazing beaches. Atiu is the 3rd most visited island of the Cook Islands in terms of tourism numbers, so max 8 people at a time.
160,000 people a year now visit the Cook Islands, of which the vast majority remain on Rarotonga. I would say about 20 to 25% of them.
Cottage, because yes, in the tropical garden, but we had this really cool outside area, so a table and bench and chairs to sit outside to have your dishes, because they actually only provided dinner at a kind of common kitchen and restaurant area, but the rest was up to yourself. So they had a very well prepared fridge,
And they have a good variety of beer in there, surprisingly.
That's very important. Yeah.
Typical, no, it's not a la carte, it's take it or leave it, whatever they serve you, and you don't know what they serve until they serve it. But it was good, it was edible, it was local, it was nice.
Also on Atiu, not a choice, or let's say not a big choice of restaurant. There's a kind of takeaway, but that offers dishes only during the day.
Yep, the garden had bananas, which you could pick. It had guavas, really nice guavas, and other fruits around. Shops, yeah, there's some shops there. 3 shops we found, very basic shops. One was well stocked with beers. Refrigeration, so there was some frozen meats there that you could use and grill at the back at the lodge. And all the basics you need, but again, if you need something special, you're not going to find it there, bring it along. There's no things to hire, so there's no scuba, snorkeling, whatever gear. Although snorkeling, probably not, you're not likely to do that over there. But if you're going to be surfing or kite surfing or whatever, got to bring it all with. What did we do while we were out in Atiu? Thousands of miles away from Europe, hundreds of miles away and kilometers away from the nearest island. What can one do out there? Nothing. Who wants to do anything when you got all that amazingness around you? As we always do, is explore. And if something looks like a little path, we stop and we go down that little path and see what we find. And every time we were surprised at what we found. Amazing beaches. Probably some of the most awesome beaches we've come across.
Yeah.
Very close, so it's beaches that doesn't quite beach into the sea. It's obviously there's a reef. Every island, most islands have got a reef around it. You get so close to that reef. We even walked on the reef on some occasions. But the little bit of lagoon between the beach and the sea is amazing.
Actually, what we discovered every day was new and amazing. So they had the beaches along the west side of Atiu, which is the rainforest area. And actually that's also one of the beaches where Captain Cook arrived on Atiu in 1777. All along the west coast is really great for taking a dip in the ocean inside of the lagoon. Having these beaches always have to go down a little bit, climbing a little bit down the rocks.
There's some amazing cozy sort of beaches.
Right, it's always about sandy beaches and the turquoise ocean, and the background is always about these bizarre rocks. The other side is the eastern side of the island. It's also about great beaches, be close to the reef, but it's more about the palm trees. It's a little bit more open. Also Makatea, but it's different.
A bit of research to go out there. We saw reference to some grottos, but no images, and nobody at Reese could explain where it is or even spoke about where it is. And when we got to the island, we asked about these, and we got some vague instructions as to where about it is, and follow the coconut tree that's got the yellow dot on it. And wow, find the coconut tree with the yellow dot is freaking impossible. They gave us a rough idea. We could never find that tree. But they also said if you enter the lagoon from a specific end and you walk along reef, you would eventually find it on the left-hand side. So we attempted that. We thought we were at low tide. It wasn't quite low tide. It was sort of coming into low tide, and we were sort of halfway, and we thought, oh, it's getting really deep here, and these waves keep coming and coming. Those waves sort of crash over the reef. Obviously at high tide they completely flood everything. So we got a little nervous and we went back. That walk was amazing though, and I had these 2 cameras I had to carry with me. So I said, this is crazy. Let's go back. Let's regroup, have a snack, drop 1 camera, take only 1 camera along, and we tried again. And this time it was truly low tide, so it was much easier. Although occasionally you still get these rogue waves that come over and attempt to knock you off your feet. But the walk was amazing. Getting so close to the reef, we actually could see big fish as the waves were breaking on the other side of the reef on occasion. Absolutely amazing. As we go along, there's pools all along. Beautiful crystal blue pools. It's so inviting. I had to go in every time. And it took us a while, huh?
Oh,
it took us a good walk. While we were walking on the reef, it's continuous sort of coves and cliffs all the way. So you can't really, if that sea does come in, you're not going to get out of there very easily without getting a few scrapes. And then eventually we found them. And amazing. They're not the biggest, but they're awesomely amazing. The way they're just hidden, and the fact that really few people see that, really few people experience it, makes it super amazing. Want to do the walks, you need to take shoes with appropriate footwear with, and you need to get some reef shoes.
So wear your swimsuits, have your sunscreen available, and a hat.
Well, she says wear your swimsuits, but you know what? There's nobody there.
Yeah, this is what you can do because there is nobody there.
The whole time we've been there, on all the beaches, we were always alone. There was nobody in sight, and you can look miles down the one end and the other end, and there's nothing. It's the caves.
Anataki Cave. So this is really a to do.
Yep.
It is amazing because it is a little bit different. It's not a cave where you just walk and in front of the wall of rocks, you would have an entrance to a cave. So this is all going down.
Yeah, it's more like sort of sinkhole caves if you want.
Caves.
Getting to the caves is quite an adventure. You need to be prepared, you need to have the right shoes again. This is different kind of shoes because all the way, which was supposedly supposed to be a 30-minute walking on fire kind of thing, but you're walking on very, very spiky black Makatea. That took us about an hour, I would say.
Yeah,
but we had an elderly gentleman with us. We took it very slow, so she liked that, so she could be a lot more careful with it. But it was amazing. You're in the jungle, ferns and all sorts of jungle plants around, jungle wildlife and plant vegetation. And this black Makatea, sometimes you walk through passages of them, but all the while you need to watch your footing because one slip, you will really hurt yourself.
It's the hike to the cave. And right, I really like to hike and to watch where am I at and to see the nature, so the slower the better for me.
I had 3 stages, so you go from one cave and then sort of out into the jungle and then back into another cave and out in the jungle and back into the third one. Yeah, 2 caves. One, you could swim in the caves as well.
Yeah, right. And there is something special. Actually, there are 2 special things to the caves. So the first thing is about the stalactites and stalagmites. So the stalactites, actually, they carry water. They release it. So if you're underneath, you'll have a shower. The other one, what it is really famous for, it's an endemic bird called the kopeka.
Only place in the world you could find these.
It is a bird that is not a bat, but it behaves like one. So it's a nice tiny little bird flying in and out.
Looks a bit like a swift.
It looks like a swift, but inside of the cave it really behaves like a bat.
Uses sonar and then it switches mode the minute it comes out the cave, switches mode to normal eyesight and flying.
Exactly, so it is an in-between bird.
The other special thing about this little bird is it flies all the way out into the ocean, but it has autopilot. It actually can sleep while it flies. And when it gets close to its destination, it wakes up again and off it goes again. There's another tradition on the island where they sort of have a home brew, and you can enjoy this at the Tamunus. Very strong beer, very home brew beer. I had this at one of the other islands, so I opted out this time. So Atiu, again, another one of those islands. You want to get away from that crazy world out there. You want a bit of solitude. You want a bit of time to reconnect with unspoiled nature. A bit of a retreat if you want. Atiu is definitely the place to be. If you love beaches, if you love exploring caves and grottos and walking on reefs.
But just hang around and just not see crowds of people. And keep in mind, it's just a short way from Raro and you're away from everything. And that's the point.
Absolutely. Check out our website. We have a lot of information on there for you. Some check sheets on what you need to take along. We have some infographics for you, give you a bit more information. We have some posts to read more about it. And we have an amazing ebook.
All necessary information, contact data, where to go, what to do, all summarized for you, for your journey.
We're also on all social media. Check us out, follow us. We have a lot more videos here on YouTube and on our website. Take a look at all of those as well. Like us. Like the video, subscribe to us, stay connected, see what we explore next, because there's a lot more coming. We've got a South Pacific with over 2,000 islands to explore. We've only done about 20 now.
And enjoy.
Absolutely.
See you next time again.
From the Cook Islands, Kakitera, Meitaki.
Meitaki. See you then.
Cheers.
Bye.